This foggy mess is called Usui Pass, and apparently I have to slow down. What are we doing?
Slow down.
Yeah. So Karuizawa apparently has a G7 meeting going on right now, so there are like about 1 billion cops everywhere. Don't know why, but anyway. So this Usui Pass is going into Gunma from Nagano, and this is a very underrated road that is kind of important in car history for a couple of reasons. It's also gnarly as shit, and I have a feeling that this is going to go on for a while. The fog doesn't help either. But Usui Pass is where racers, I guess in the 70s and 80s, the toge racers would really, like, the big names came out of here. Keiichi Tsuchiya, obviously, probably being the biggest name, but he cut his teeth racing here. And as far as I understand, that the original OG drift tape called Plusby, I think, like Keiichi Tsuchiya's drift tape that got him banned from racing for a year, was done on this road. And still a public road, just a regular mountain pass. Kind of regretting the death of the mountain pass anymore, because a lot of them seem to be heading the way of, oh, we cut a tunnel so we don't need this road anymore, then it just gets barricaded or gets disused. That could be good or bad, or just lack of service, so it gets bumpy. But this crazy ass road is just a road from Nagano to Gunma, one of, and tons of turns. They're all basic, like 40 kilometer an hour, like 30 mile an hour kind of turns. Like not a lot of gas and brake at the speed limit. However, the racers in the 80s, 90s, whatever, were not doing the speed limit. They were boogieing through here. And this road is, it flows exactly like Tail of the Dragon. It's a whole lot of short duration, low difficulty turns. They're not super long, they're not super complicated, but there's a whole lot of them linked together with like no straights at all. Also, obviously, this is pouring rain, fog. I'm driving a wonderful car, actually. This is a really cool car, but public road, so gotta respect the laws. Respect the laws of physics first, and then the laws of the country you're in second. Definitely don't want to break the laws of physics. That would be very painful here. And respecting the laws of the country I'm in, which is Japan, would also be a very solid idea if I, would like to come back and be able to drive other roads. So, taking it very easy, nice and safe speed. The cool thing about a lot of these blind turns, there are these convex mirrors on the corners where you can see somebody coming the other way. So if you have a blind turn, it's not actually a blind turn because there's a mirror in it. Like right there. 142. I think this is, yeah, so, no, I don't think this is actually that corner. I don't remember what C1 whatever is the relevant one, 139. I'm going to go with 121. But anyway, so another place this road is maybe familiar from is from the initial D series. This is where Takumi was racing Impact Blue, that like SIL 80 car or whatever. That like every other car in that series beat itself, because almost everyone in that series who raced Takumi Takumi didn't beat anybody, they just lost to themselves. They all spun out or whatever. Plot armor, of course. But anyway, so C121 probably coming up. I really want to say it's 121. It's like a never-ending left that goes from 3 lanes into 2. So anyway, back to my rants. In Initial D, this road figured as the first away race for Takumi and his 86. For me, right now, this road is figuring as the first actual toge that I get to drive in Japan, because I've driven some, like basically highway passes, but I didn't really get to do anything anywhere near as crazy as this. Not that we're going crazy, obviously. We are just slightly keeping up with a Nissan Murano or X-Trail or whatever. So, not exactly a fast activity. 127. Road definitely feels a lot like Tail of the Dragon. Quick little turn, no straight, quick little turn in a different direction, opens, closes, tightens, widens, kind of like really a bit of a flowy road, because you can really kind of like get a rhythm for it. I think this is this magical corner because it gets wider, kind of never ends, and then narrows out, narrows back down. I don't know. Whatever. There's no way I can memorize a cartoon. But it seems like if I remembered C121 and we're past it, then that was the spot. Either way, I really love driving in Japan. I really love driving in Japan for a few reasons. One, because my wife rented us an awesome car. GR86 is phenomenal. I want to be a car review channel about as much as I want to be a mukbang channel, but let's just say the GR86 is an absolute blast to drive, even with paddle shifters, even right-hand drive, because I'm in Japan, so right-hand drive. This car is a beast in the corners. It makes plenty of power, especially in Japan where the speed limits are very low. So you don't need a very powerful car. It's kind of weird, like it's the land of building awesome, fast, performant, good handling cars that they then don't get to use legally, which is kind of disappointing. But in any case, for Japan, this car is a little big and a little low. Because there are pickup trucks that are smaller than this, and I don't even mean like pickup truck like your family hauler pickup truck. I mean cargo truck that are smaller than this. Well, those little K things are everywhere anyway. But car's phenomenal, turns great, feels great, suspension is super settled. It is the least drama you can have in a car. It is a joy to drive. Feels a lot more solid than my GTIs did, for example. Really, it kind of reminds me of my mom's Porsche for some reason. And honestly, honestly, like, that's a weird thing to say about a Yoda compared to a Porsche, but it is a very solid car. It feels solid. It feels well made. It is very well balanced. The only thing I would really add to this car is a pipe, I think, because Let Me Sing You the Songs of My People is not a feature in this car because it's just quiet, pedestrian, like calm, exhaust note. One thing I really like about this car is it's actually like well made inside, like well thought out inside. Ooh, cool little bridge and tunnel. I feel like this is probably some kind of landmark or a sightseeing spot or something. Anyway, this car is actually like really well thought out. We don't have a million buttons. We don't have a million switches, toggles, whatever. Like the Porsches, for example, I find that to be a little annoying. That like they're just button city. Give me fewer things to interact with, and if I want to go edit a setting, I can go do it on the touchscreen. The one thing I don't like about the GR86, and this is more of a me thing than a GR86 thing, I really don't like the vision systems, because all the vision systems, like the lane departure warning, the oh my god, there's a car in front of you, slow down, beeping, the adaptive cruise, all those things, they really kind of break up the flow of driving. They really kind of just, I don't know. Maybe they're useful to someone. I am not that someone. They're not useful to me. I would like them off, and I would like to be able to turn them permanently off. Unfortunately, a lot of the menus in this car are in Japanese, so I couldn't figure out how to turn them off forever. And if I do buy this car, and this is a very likely thing because I really like it, I do want one now, and I do want one for back home. If I do buy one, I will be looking for how to disable these systems forever, because they're incredibly annoying. Like, the car just beeps at me all damn day because, oh my god, you're going to touch a line. Okay, no you didn't, but I beeped anyway. Right now, I actually managed how to defeat them the dumbest way possible. The GoPro mount is blocking one of the eyes for the vision, so the car can't see, so the dashboard's all lit up like I have no eyesight. Brake warning off, lane departure warning off, stuff like that. Like, the dashboard's all lit up, but you guys get to see what I'm doing, and I get to live in silence down this road with that, well, from the car. I get to live in silence down this road while I'm filming this, because otherwise you would hear non-stop, oh no, you're too close to the car in front of you, oh no, you're too close to the lane, oh no, you are, oh, that is a really cool bridge. Well, and we're past it, and there's no parking near it, so there's no way to look at it, but that was a really cool bridge off to the side. Usui Bridge number 3, I think, is the landmark on Google Maps if you want to check it out. Anyway, so Japanese tailgate. Tail of the Dragon doesn't have shit on this. Tail of the Dragon's a lame road compared to this, primarily because you pretty much are a slave to the tourist traffic at Tail of the Dragon. Here, there may be some tourist traffic, obviously, but it's not going to be people who come here for the road. It's going to be people who come for whatever else, and it's not going to be over-policed just yet, unlike Mount Haruna, which we'll be driving later. It's not going to be parking lot of Harleys. By the way, the Japanese drive very well in general, so It probably wouldn't, even if all the things from Tale of the Dragon were true. In general, I feel like the Japanese are really good drivers, because how do you not get good driving on roads like this? And this is actually a pretty wide road. There's a lot of narrower roads with like 30-kilometer speed limits, where when somebody comes the other way, you basically have to put your wheels in a ditch or pull off of some kind. Really a requirement to be a proficient driver to be here. Like, I feel like an idiot because I don't have the greatest muscle memory for driving on the left side of the road. So a lot of times I feel a bit more lost than I would be back home, but still narrow, not forgiving, guardrail or ditch. This road has normal drainage ditches on the side, but there are other roads with gnarly, deep, square, rectangular drainage ditches that would basically eat the entire car if you were to put a wheel down there. Anyway, Japanese drivers are phenomenal. Japanese roads are generally very good. There are some bumpy ones, but they're usually smaller ones. Japanese speed limits are absurd, like painfully slow. Oh, really cool bridge ahead. There he goes. There's a big red bridge up there, but like, I don't know if it's going to come out on camera, and I'm not playing with the... Oh, there we go. That is so cool. All right, nobody behind me, so I can slow down a little bit, and as is this box. Another thing about Japan, the vast majority of cars in Japan look like box. They are just like all the K cars, all the vans. The current styling is like Minecraft players decided to make cars. They just look like a box. So Ks are also kind of, they're everywhere. They're very utilitarian. They're mostly unexhilarating, except like, you know, the Holy Trinity, the ABC of K, Cappuccino, AutoZam, which I don't even know if you can find one anywhere. But you see a lot of Honda Beats running around. But in general, the K cars are box. Like, right there. That's not a K, but it very well could be. Box is life. Car must be box. If car not box, waste of space, I guess. I don't know. Maybe that's actually, like, I know they're cheap to register, but maybe you need to have enough space to park one. So like getting a bigger car or an SUV, if you have limited space, you might not be able to park one anywhere, so, or like next to your house. So to maximize space, box is the way. It does not, however, make for a very exciting car watching, because like you can sit on an intersection and you're like K car, K car, K car, K car, K car, Prius, Prius, Prius. Prius is actually a big car in Japan, and there's a bunch of them hauling ass on highways. So I suspect that Prius is actually a little bit. It's not as much of a budget decision as it is in the U.S. Turn 12. I feel like we're getting... Turn 11. I feel like we're getting towards the end of this mountain pass. So anyway, Usui Toge. Really cool road. Glad I got to drive it. A little disappointed that I have to drive it slow because of, you know, laws of physics and laws of man. Not disappointed at all having driven it slow, because you just, you know, if you have to go slow, use use the dragon rules. Keep it within your lane. Make sure you're safe. Make sure nothing's coming around any corner. Remember, it is a public road, not a racetrack. If you want to go fast, go to a racetrack. Many of those in Japan as well, but unfortunately I'm not here long enough for that. But anyway, so we are coming up. That is turn 2. There's the marker, there's the mirror, and I suspect that this one marker somewhere right here, that is the end of this 12 kilometer 170 some turn road, and that was amazing. I'm really glad I got to drive that, and I'm really glad I get to share that with you.